before. This was after the resurrection. A second time. The same thing. Why? Why? Because you got to understand that when God blesses you, He will return with many more blessings in the same manner. Because of your discipline, even though you had fished all night and caught nothing at His word, when you honor His word, He doesn't just bless you one time, but there'll be a future time that He'll use the same thing and you'll reap from the first, the same thing. You see, can you understand? Discipline brings forth multiplication of blessings upon you and your family and everyone you deal with. Not only was there, both times there was a multitude of fish that touched everyone that had vessels out there that could get out there and partake of the fish. Can I tell you, when God blesses you in your discipline, when you discipline yourself by hearing the Word, when God blesses you, He will bless everyone that is around you right there that has vessels, that are vessels to be used. Understand this. I hear a lot of people say, well, this don't work for me. I've tried this. Quit trying. It does work. You don't need to try anything. Trying is, when you talk about trying, it's an act of unbelief. Well, I tried this. Well, it'll never work for you if you tried it. You see, but you've got to understand, you've got to have faith. You see, when we step out with God, God does not, your tears won't move Him, and your sorrow won't move Him. But when you step out in faith and believe, it will move God. God said He loves faith. He loved, when He created the heavens and the earth, He used faith. He stepped out and He said, took something that had nothing and made something out of it. Because He knew what? That He was a big enough God to do it.
Amen.
My goodness, if we could get a hold of this. Discipline. Discipleship. Discipleship. You see, when we understand that discipline in our life through the Word of God opens so many doors for us. I've told the Lord many times, Lord, I want to do this, but what do you want me to do? I would really like this, but what do you want me to do? I spoke to him this morning. He was talking to me, and I said, Lord, I see something that you're fixing to make me do. Or not, I won't say make me do, but you've entered it in my mind a couple of times, and I know I'll have to do it. And it is an act of discipline. And he said, Michael, I want to bless you. I want to bless you greater than what you got. I want to bless you greater than that. Are you willing to give up something for something greater? Are you willing to give up something for something greater? You see, we have to understand these things. That's the reason trucks and keyboards and things like that mean absolutely nothing to me, because when He says, I want you to give such and such something, I just take it and give it. I don't care if it leaves me walking. It really doesn't make any difference, because I know that if he told me, and when it leaves my hands, something's fixing to leave his. I know God enough to know that if he told me to give something to someone, well, right here's stepping up to preach that day, overheard this guy say, up in West Virginia, overheard this guy to say, I've got to get me a watch. This thing right here, it don't work half the time, and I was pulling mine off all the time. When I got to the top of the steps, I handed it to him. Oh no, I said, God told me to give it to you. And a few days later, when we got into the car, there was a bag sitting there. 100 times the amount I give for that other watch. No, I take that back. 10 times the amount. 10 times the amount, 100-fold. The amount. Exactly. I wear it to that. When I'm willing to give up something in discipline, what God tells me, when I hear His Word, and I'm willing to give up. See, Peter was willing to give up his ship and pushed out to do what the Master said. Look at the benefit. He had toiled all night long, but he said, launch out into the deep. Oh, you got to understand this. Discipline in your life. This is not the message I wanted to preach on discipleship this morning. It's not the one I had worked up. And but the Lord turned it all around. He told me again yesterday. He's done this once before. Only once before. He looked at my message, you know, he'd give me, and we'd worked it up, and he said, now that's good. Now preach it in love. Preach it in love. Let my people understand that I want to bless my people. I don't want to a disciple is, you see, a lot of the things that he took me to was, you know, when your hands go to the plow, don't look back, because you're not fit for the kingdom if you do. You see, but even that is in love. You've got enough people pushing you down this morning. You don't need God pushing you down. He said, just learn to, when you set your hands to something, don't go backward. I thought of you when God gave me this message. If you will not stop your men's ministry, even if there's just 2 or 3. Can I tell you? Don't stop it. Don't stop it, because if you are a vessel that God is wanting to use and He has set this in order, He said, launch on out into the deep. Launch on out into the deep. I'm not willing to stop. I don't care if there's 3 or 4 or 5 here this morning, or 15 or 20. I'm not willing to stop. Because you see, I've come to the place that I'm disciplined. If God tells me, okay, then you got to do this, then I've got to do this. Do you understand what I'm talking about this morning?